Changes are coming to food programs across the state, and they can have a major impact on families, schools, and even farmers.
Yeah, and earlier this month, the federal government announced it's pulling back $1 billion in funding for programs that help bring fresh, locally grown food to school cafeterias, food banks, and even child care centers. Morning reporter Freya Brar learned more about how those programs rely on funding. Good morning, Freya.
Good morning. Now, Georgia's relied on federal support to connect farmers with schools and families in need, but now that funding's at risk. With strong support from Congress, like Representative Sanford Bishop, the state relied on these programs for years. Under the USDA's Local Food for Schools Cooperative Agreement Program, 81 school nutrition programs in Georgia participated in the first year, sourcing products from over 150 farmers and producers. About 75% of purchases came from Georgia farmers. The programs played significant roles in supporting local agriculture and school meal programs. Millions of dollars in federal funding once used to support local food programs in Georgia, now gone, leaving farmers, schools, and food banks facing uncertainty.
It's estimated that almost 107,000 people in our 24-county area are food insecure. That's 1 in 7. And you think about all the people you know, divide that number by 7, that's a lot of people who are struggling. And then when we look at children, it's more than 38,000 children, 1 in 4.
Back in October, federal funds were announced for Georgians impacted by Helene. The U.S. Department of Agriculture identified farmers in the central Georgia counties that are eligible for compensation. And the estimated funds for damages in Georgia was around $207 million. But since the Trump administration announced federal budget cuts, programs like food and nutrition assistance funding have been cut. Now advocates worry about the ripple effect. One of the hardest hit groups, students. Many children rely on school meal programs. Without funding, advocates say access to fresh local food could be limited.
They may not have food at home, and being able to provide food, provide this basic need, is a way that we can help bridge the gap for students while they're at school.
Advocates say with food insecurity on the rise and fewer resources, it's time to rethink food waste.
When you think about the fact that 30 to 40% of food is wasted and over 45 million people live in households experiencing food insecurity.
So as federal funding cuts continue, supporters say the need for local support is growing. Community organizations and food banks are working to fill the gap, but they always say help is needed. We'll continue following this story as Georgia families, farmers, and schools navigate the impact. Camila, Frederick.
All right, thank you so much, Freya.